Not a single year goes by without at least one new attraction popping up in Vegas, and 2025 promises to be no different. In fact, there's so much going on that I expect there to be a huge jump in the number of tourists visiting Sin City this year. Now, that's saying something, considering over 40 million people visited in 2024. But with new residencies, potential Michelin star restaurants, and major sporting events, the 2025 lineup looks seriously incredible. Planning a trip soon? Here's what to look out for. Let's start with the music. Dad Rock fans will be delighted to hear that the Eagles are continuing to sell out tickets at the Sphere. Tears for Fears will bring a similar vibe to the Fontainebleau Theater, while 70s rock band Styx will rock out at the Venetian. And that's just January. Later in the year, we're going to see residencies of Janet Jackson, Blake Shelton, Josh Groban, and the Black Eyed Peas kick off. 2025 will also mark the reunion of New Kids on the Block, with its original lineup, at the Dolby Live Theater on June 20th. In between the U2's immersive experience at the Sphere, Motley Crue will park MGM, and The Killers at Caesars Palace. There is plenty to look forward to music-wise. Food-wise too, Vegas is living up to its reputation as one of the world's fine dining capitals. The Venetian will host two new but familiar restaurants. The first is Gelina, LA's iconic Italian diner. It'll feature a menu of wood-fired pizzas, unique pasta, and fresh veggie-based salads, much like its Venice Beach counterpart. The second is New York City and America's first Michelin star Korean steakhouse, Kote. Both of these restaurants are part of a staggering $1.5 billion renovation at the Venetian, so there's a lot to look out for there. Over at Resorts World, Top Chef winner Jeremy Ford will inaugurate the second location of his James Beard award-winning restaurant, Stubborn Seed. The owners of the Evel Knievel-themed Evil Pie Pizza Shop are also planning a new pizza place at the massive new Evel Knievel Museum. This 80s metal-themed establishment will serve cocktails in Viking horn glasses and pizzas on cracker crusts. It'll also feature an animatronic heavy metal band for evening entertainment. There's also a bunch of breweries opening soon, courtesy of names like Aces and Ales, the Sagos Tavern, and Evolve Brewing. One of the most anticipated restaurants, however, comes not from a chef, but from a streaming service. This year, Netflix and MGM Graham have teamed up for one of the most unique offerings Vegas has ever seen. In a year-long residency, Netflix Bites will see top chefs serve dishes inspired by some of the streaming service's iconic shows. There's no word on what these shows will be, but given Netflix's recently released much-hyped seasons of Squid Game and Bridgerton, my guess is that they'll feature in some way. Since Allegiant Stadium hosted the Super Bowl in February 2024, Vegas has proved that it isn't just the capital of sin, it's also a paradise for sports enthusiasts. The Oakland A's might be a few years away from calling the city home, but the Vegas Raiders will keep the NFL spirit alive until then, with plenty of home games for fans to look forward to. The Vegas Golden Knights, meanwhile, will keep up with the NHL excitement. Besides that, Formula One fans will be delighted to hear that the track has made it to the 2025 calendar. If you're into watching go-karts whiz down the strip at unimaginable speeds, mark your calendar for November 20th through the 22nd. If you can't make it on those days, don't worry. In just 3 years, the Vegas F1 race has become so popular that the Grand Prix Plaza on Turn 1 has become a tourist attraction in its own right. So, long before the race begins, you can try your hand at driving a kart, race along a stretch of the circuit, or spend a couple of hours at the F1X Immersive exhibit. Prefer closed car racing instead? Then plan your trip for either March or October, when the Pennzoil 400 and the South Point 400 are held at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. In between two NASCAR races, you can make your way to the Allegiant Stadium for WrestleMania 41 in April. That's right! WrestleMania is returning to Vegas for the first time since 1993. when the 9th edition was held at Caesar's Palace. The 2-day tickets are already on sale, so I'd advise you not to wait too long before you book. Tickets are also quickly selling out for the National Finals Rodeo, which is set to be held at the Thomas & Mack Center in December. Unless you're living under a rock, you may have already heard about the Las Vegas Immersive District, a massive project replacing Area 15. Mind you, this is not just a simple rebranding. Following its renovation, the space is expected to get 35 new acres of attractions, including Universal Horror Unleashed, 100,000 square feet of horror-themed entertainment. The rest of the area is earmarked for 500 new apartments, 200 hotel rooms, and over 40,000 square foot of retail space. The agency behind these huge renovation plans expects the Las Vegas Immersive District to draw in 3.5 million visitors all on its own, while creating more than 4,000 jobs. It's a project of an incredible scale, really. Meanwhile, I've already spoken about the new Netflix-themed restaurant, but that's not the only television-related plan brewing at the MGM Grand in the district. The hotel also has recently unveiled a unique Friends experience based on the hit sitcom. This interactive space features recreated sets from some of the show's most memorable moments, including both apartments, the chapel where Ross and Rachel marry, and the fountain featured in the opening credits. Over by the Horseshoe at the Grand Bazaar Shops, the $50 million project, Bottled Blonde, is expected to finally open to the public, following a recent delay. This 25,000 square foot entertainment venue will feature a high-energy nightclub, delectable pizzas, and an unmatched bird's-eye view of the Bellagio fountains. The Las Vegas Immersive District, meanwhile, will earn its title with 2 unique experiences. Apart from the Universal Horror Show I spoke about earlier, there's also talk of a John Wick-themed interactive attraction due for February, as well as an Interstellar-inspired experience that'll take you on a mission through the cosmos. A Bob Marley-themed installation at Mandalay Bay features one of the biggest collections of memorabilia from the reggae legend's life. I highly recommend checking it out if you're a fan of his music or of music history in general. Now, one thing you might have noticed in this list is that there are no new hotels coming up in 2025, but that doesn't mean the existing ones aren't changing things up a bit. The Bellagio, for example, has announced a major expansion plan for 2025. Dubbed Project Mojave, this plan will see the hotel seriously enhance its retail and restaurant offerings and build a walkway from its main entrance to Las Vegas Boulevard. MGM Resorts, meanwhile, will convert one of its properties within the Mandalay Bay campus to W Hotels brand. This project, in collaboration with Marriott International, could be the closest we'll get to a new hotel on the Strip for a while. But all things said and done, even without a new hotel, there's a lot to look forward to in 2025 if you ask me.